Proverbs 4, verse 7 and verse 8. Notice what scripture said. Wisdom, I'm reading out the New King James Version. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom. Principle has to do with wisdom being first in importance. He says then, therefore get wisdom. And in all your getting, get understanding. Exalt her, and she will promote you. She will bring you honor when you embrace her. So that says to me as a child of God that God has his part and I have my part. Right? My part, if I want to be promoted, if I want to be exalted, if I want to come to honor, I got to be a person that's about getting wisdom. Based upon that, look at a person and tell him or her, our subject this morning is simple. Look at them and I want you to shout two words to them. Get wisdom. All right, you can be seated. Get wisdom. Pastor, what's this year all about? Getting wisdom. Getting it means I am receiving, hearing, and applying. You're not getting wisdom when you only hear wisdom, but you don't do it. Probably all of us have been told by somebody that you ain't getting it the way I need you to get it. And so God throughout this year is going to be coming at us with wisdom to make sure that we are getting it. Now, to get wisdom, one must first hunger and thirst for it. You can't get something that you don't have a hunger for. In other words, I have to hunger this year for a better way to do certain things. It doesn't matter how long I've been doing something a certain way. If wisdom comes forth and tells me that's not the proper way to do it, that's not the most efficient way to do it, ain't no sense in me arguing with the person. Even if he or she is younger than me, I simply need to hunger for this better way of doing something. And I need to quickly change from doing it the old way, do it the new way so I can get some new results. The problem with a lot of us is that we want new results, but we want to keep doing things the old way. Sometimes to get new results, you have to change up how you're doing things. Oh, let me go at it a different way. Some of us want to think better, we want to talk better, and we want to do better. But then when it comes to who we want to hang with, you don't want to change from hanging with people that ain't talking right, that ain't doing right, that ain't thinking right, and then you expect your mindset to be to the point to where it need to be after you basically been hanging around a whole lot of junk or foolishness. It's not going to happen. If you want to be wise, you have to walk with wise people, because when you begin to walk with wise people from the beginning, you may feel a little intimidated. When you begin to walk with a person who has more wisdom than you have, if you are not careful, they will intimidate you. They'll cause you to feel like you ain't about nothing. They'll cause you to feel like what's wrong with you, you can't get it and you ain't gonna ever get it. If you are, y'all know I'm preaching right. If you ain't careful and you hanging with somebody that's got wisdom and you've been walking in a whole lot of foolishness and you're seeing the way they do things, you're seeing the way they think, you're hearing the way they talk. If you are not careful, careful, you will down yourself to the point to where you will feel like I can never accomplish what they accomplish. I can never be where they are. I can never talk the way he talks. I can never think the way he thinks. But the devil is a lie. You have to remember that even those of us that are now walking in wisdom, we have not always done so. That's the reason it's important when you're walking in divine wisdom that you remind folks occasionally that you ain't always done so. You have to digress sometime and let folk know I used to be just as foolish as you are. I ain't putting you down about going to a club because I used to be the club fiend. I was the person that if I wasn't at the club on Saturday, then something didn't feel right. They wasn't going to be able to get off if I wasn't there. But when I got saved, I found out they were still doing the same old thing without me. And so you have to be careful. Don't allow nobody to intimidate you. Get around folk that's got more wisdom than you got and learn from this person. Don't hate on somebody that's pouring out of themselves to make you better. Don't talk about them behind their back, but then praise them in their face. Receive what they're saying. Oh, you better give God a praise for that. See, that's the reason we got to have men that are jacked up husbands. They got to get with some men that are gentlemen. They got to get with men that know how to treat a woman, a man that know how to talk to a woman, a man that know how to lead a woman. And then you got to be willing to learn from this brother. Doesn't mean this brother better than you. You don't have to be talking, well, that means he better than me. No, it just means he more wiser when it comes to dealing with certain situations. The stuff you keep arguing with your wife about, he done learned how to turn over and go to sleep and recognize that she ain't talking about much anyhow. And I ain't going to let it get me down and get us to arguing about nothing. Oh, I wish some brothers would have been real about that. Because sometimes women will come at you with stuff that ain't really about nothing. And if you ain't careful, it'll nag you to the point to where you arguing about something again that ain't nothing. And I know sisters upset because half of y'all saying, wait a minute, pal, if you better get on them men, because they the ones that be wanting to argue and nag about something that ain't. I'm the one trying to go to sleep. I'm the one trying to tell him, let's don't go there. Let's don't deal with that. You better slap somebody and say, show you right, show you right. Oh, that just ain't limited to marriages. Even in friendships, you got to learn certain stuff ain't worth arguing about. It ain't worth, I mean, you know what I'm talking about. When you get wise, truly wise, it will limit the number of arguments you get in with people simply because you ain't going there. When you wise, you can hear somebody say something stupid and they want you to comment, but you won't. Why? You're too wise. And when folk look at you like, see that they got y'all like this, thinking you got to go to church all the time. You ain't got to be in no church all the time to walk with the Lord. But no, you don't have to be in church every Sunday to walk with the Lord. But you do have to be here if you crave and long for wisdom. Why wouldn't you be here to get wisdom if wisdom is what you're all about? Come on, it never hurts to set in a setting where you're receiving knowledge and understanding that if you apply it to your life, it'll change every aspect of your life. Why shouldn't I want that? You then got to receive that type fool talk ain't nothing but foolishness. This is how I got saved. This is how I got delivered coming to the church. This is how I stay delivered by coming to the church. And I'm never going to be a second and fourth member. I have to be at church every time the doors are open that God allow me to walk through them doors. I'm not walking through there like somebody dragging me in here, like they making me come. I'm walking through here like David saying, this is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad. I'm going to be like David and say, I was glad when they said unto me, let us go into the house of the Lord. Am I right? Why? Because you can tell, for I crave for wisdom. You see, you don't tell folks, your pastor make y'all go to church every Sunday. Pastor don't make us do nothing. I'm a free moral agent. I crave the wisdom. I crave the knowledge. I'm going because I need to learn something. I'm dealing with something, and I want a little more wisdom of how to deal with it.